You let people walk all over you and you refuse to see it. Maybe you even sell yourself that it's strength, rising above it, taking the higher road. No, that's just another comfortable little story you tell yourself instead of facing the thing you're actually terrified of, your anger. Here's the truth nobody told you. That calm is not strength, it's a lid. And under it, things are happening to you that you've never once connected to anger. By the end of this, you'll see exactly where yours went, what it's quietly costing you, and the one move that gets it back. Without exploding, without swallowing it again. Let's get into it. Let me show you what this actually looks like in your life. Not theory. You. You don't blow up, you're the steady one, and you're proud of it. But watch the small stuff, because that's where it lives now. There's the eye roll. The guy talking too loud on the train, the coworker asking the obvious question, and the word idiot crosses your mind, the one you'd never say out loud. That cold little lift of being above someone, 100 times a day. That's not you being sharp, that's anger in a respectable suit. There's the fine, the whatever. Do what you want. The words come out calm and the room goes cold anyway. Or you do the favor, but loud, so they feel the weight of it. You'd never admit you're punishing them, but you are. There's the going cold. You call it needing space. You get quiet, busy, hard to reach, and the person across from you feels the temperature drop and doesn't know what they did. You know exactly what they did. There's the numbing, the one you call rest, the porn, the third drink, the scroll that eats 2 hours. You don't go hot, you go flat, because flat is quiet, and anything's better than feeling the thing underneath. And there's the gray weight, the flatness you keep calling tired that sits on you some mornings with no reason attached. Here's what they don't tell you. One whole face of depression is just anger with nowhere left to go, so it turns around and points at the only target still in range, you. Now here's the part that should stop you. If I asked you right now what you're actually feeling, you might not be able to answer. That's not you being broken. There's a clinical word for it. Alexithymia. A man who genuinely can't read his own emotions, because somewhere back there it stopped being safe to feel them. The signal's still firing. You just lost the wire to it. And it doesn't only live in your head, it lives in your body. The jaw you clench in your sleep, the knot in your gut, the tension you stretch and can't get out. They followed a town in Michigan for 17 years, and the men who habitually swallowed their anger, the men doing exactly what you're proud of, died earlier. More heart disease, higher blood pressure. The body keeps paying the bill even when you never feel the charge. So sit with this before we go further. The calmest man in the room is usually the most loaded, and he's the last one to know it. That's the whole trap. You can't work on what you can't feel, and you've gotten very, very good at not feeling it. So the first job isn't to calm down. You're already calm. The first job is to find out what's actually under the lid, because it didn't go nowhere. It went somewhere specific. You weren't born like this. You can probably find the moment it started. You were small and something in you flared. A scream, a fist, a flood of heat that wanted out. And the room turned on you. Maybe someone went cold. Maybe you got hit. Maybe you just got a back turned and a door shut. The silent treatment that teaches a kid one thing fast. Your anger makes the people you need disappear. So you learned. Anger is dangerous. Not to them. To you. And a smart kid does the only thing he can. He builds a door on it. But here's the part that matters. It didn't stay a choice. The hiding went automatic. Now it happens before you even know it's there, an old reflex that catches the anger the instant it rises and swaps it for something safer. Numbness, hurt, tiredness. That's why you can't feel it. You trained yourself not to, so young you don't even remember the training. This is where Jung walks in. The parts of yourself you won't feel, the rage, the want, the ugliness you decided a good man doesn't have. They don't disappear when you bury them. Energy doesn't take the hint, it goes underground. Jung had a name for where it goes, the shadow, and once it's down there, you don't own it anymore. It owns you. He wrote that every affect tends to become an autonomous complex, to break away from the hierarchy of consciousness, and, if possible, to drag the ego after it. Read the end of that again. Drag the ego after it. The thing you locked in the cellar doesn't sit still. It runs the house from down there, and it pulls you along behind it. He said it flat out in Aion. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside, as fate. Strip the old language off that, and in plain words, it's the thing he kept circling his whole life. The buried thing runs you, but you don't call it the buried thing. You call it your personality, the job you won't leave, the conversation you keep not having. You think that's just who you are. It's the anger in the cellar, steering. So here's the reframe. The most dangerous man in the room is almost never the loud one. It's the controlled one. The one so practiced at not feeling it that when the pressure finally finds a crack, it doesn't come out as a raised voice. It comes out as something he can't take back. And no one is more shocked than him. So say a man finally feels some of it. He reaches for one of two doors. Door 1, let it out. Vent. Punch something, scream in the car, finally say the thing. Door 2, swallow it, breathe, push it back down. You've tried both. And here's what you found. Swallowing it just carries one more box down to the cellar. But venting, the thing everyone swears by, is actually worse. And we can prove it. A psychologist named Brad Bushman ran the cleanest version of this test. He made people genuinely angry, then split them. One group did exactly what everyone tells you to do, hit a punching bag and picture the person who wronged them. The other group just sat there and did nothing. You'd bet the punching bag group came out lighter. They came out worse. Measurably more aggressive than the people who did nothing. The hitting didn't drain the anger, it rehearsed it. Every swing was a rep, teaching your whole body what the rage is for and where it goes. So that's the trap. Suppress it, and it loads. Vent it, and it trains. Both doors are dead ends, and most men spend their whole lives pacing between them, calling it coping. There's a third door. Almost nobody knows it's there, and it's the one move that actually works. Before the move, one thing. The calm you built is real, and it was smart. It got you through a childhood where feeling it wasn't safe. I'm not here to take it from you. I'm here to give you the part it was always missing. This comes from a man named Scott Kiloby, who spent years mapping how buried emotion works in the body. And the first thing he'd tell you is the part you won't like. If you've buried your anger this long, the problem isn't releasing it. It's that you can't even find it. So step 1 is to prove to yourself it's in there. And you can do this tonight. Wait for the next time something gets to you. The comment, the slight, the message that sits wrong. The feeling in your body might be tiny. A flicker, a tightness in the chest, the gut, the jaw. Don't explain it. Don't name who did it. Just put your attention on it. Then say to it, quietly, I'm not angry, and watch what the body does. Because if anger's down there, it answers. Something tightens, something pushes back, a story fires up to defend the line. Kiloby calls this the reverse inquiry, and what it does is catch your own mind in the act of lying to you. You've said, I'm fine your whole life and believed it. Now the body is telling you the truth in a language you can't fake. That's the anger. Found, maybe for the first time in 20 years. Then you flip it. You feed the body the opposite, fast, on repeat, while you stay with the energy. It's safe to feel this. I can be angry. It's safe. Again. Again. Not as a thought you think. As a signal you fire into the body while you watch the charge. And the thing that was frozen starts to move. The old program that said anger is dangerous starts to let go. That, by the way, is what Jung meant by making the unconscious conscious. You're dragging the buried thing up where you can finally feel it. Kiloby just built the exact move for doing it. Here's what catches every man off guard when he does this. When you stop spending your whole life holding the anger down, You don't get more dangerous. You get more solid. Because the anger was never your enemy. It was information. Anger always points at something. A line that got crossed. A value someone stepped on. The things that make you angriest are a precise map of what you actually care about. You buried the map because it came attached to a feeling you weren't allowed to have. And when you stop spending energy to keep it down, you get that energy back. Men who do this work all describe the same things. They're less tired because holding a lid shut all day is exhausting and they never knew they were doing it. They can finally say no because the anger was always the signal that a line got crossed and now they feel it in time to act on it. Go back to the start of this video, people walking all over you. This is how that stops. Not by getting louder, by feeling the thing that was trying to tell you to stand up. The people close to them say they seem more real, more there, because there's no second conversation running underneath the calm one. And the gray weight, the one with no reason attached, starts to lift, because it was never depression in the simple sense. It was a feeling with nowhere to go. Now it has somewhere. So picture the man you could be. 6 months from now, same table, the comment lands wrong. The old heat moves, and this time you feel it instead of trading it for numbness. You don't explode and you don't swallow it. You look at the person across from you and you say the hard, true thing in a level voice. That's the whole move. And watch the room. People feel a man's force the second it's real. The room reorganizes, not around the loudest man, but around the one who's finally not afraid of his own fire. And it doesn't stop in that room. Your kid doesn't catch the overflow, he just sees his father feel something and stay whole. Your partner doesn't get the cold front 3 days later because there's no leftover charge to leak. And the man in the mirror, the one who used to take the hit you couldn't aim anywhere else, gets the night off. You sleep. That's the strength you were after the whole time. It was never on the other side of suppression. It was on the other side of feeling it. The unconscious, made conscious, is no longer fate. It's choice. If this loosened something, the free 7-day shadow work starter walks you straight into that move, finding the anger you can't feel yet and letting it move. First link below. The full shadow work workbook takes you the rest of the way, right under it, and real credit where it's owed. The inquiry work in this video comes from Scott Kiloby. What I showed you is one move out of a much deeper body of work called the Kiloby Inquiries, and I can't do all of it justice in one video. So if this is the thread that matters to you, go to the source. His link is in the description. There's one question we didn't answer. Where did you first learn your anger was dangerous? Who taught you to build that cellar? For almost every man, it leads back to one relationship. The father who was there but never quite there. That's next time. I'll see you there.